you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with an update on the now so Resilient Jenkins and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So I had some thoughts I wanted to share with y'all. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright, you guys, so at the top, let's start with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She is over on TikTok doing exactly what I said that she would be doing, and that is becoming a mommy influencer. She's over here telling people what they need and what they don't need regarding having a new baby in the house. And I'm not sure what kind of sane person would ever take even a piece of advice from her, because there are reputable sources out there that don't need your nonsense to muddy the waters. But as far as what she was talking about, the one thing I thought was interesting, she really thinks that she is just a complete celebrity. She said that her stroller, she ended up getting a privacy kind of thing that goes over the front of the stroller, because when they're out, she doesn't want people taking pictures of her baby. She did show her baby's face on live stream. I'm not going to reshare it, but that also went viral. Gypsy, like, girl, you are so far less important than what you think you are in your head. People are so tired of you. They are exhausted of the topic. They are tired of hearing your voice and seeing your face. And now you're over here trying to tell people what they need and what they don't need as far as having a new baby. Just the fact that you could buy a $400, what was it, an owlet sock? You were able to spend $400 on an owlet sock because you have blood money from unaliving your mother. And most importantly, manipulating a disabled man to do it for you. So the whole thing is just, it's unfolding exactly the way that I thought it was. There's also a rumor saying that she and Ken are broken up. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't put anything past her, but I also haven't seen it. So I guess we'll see. I would not be surprised. I said that they're not going to last ages ago. But I guess we'll just see. But for her trying to influence other mothers, I don't think that anyone with two brain cells to rub together would be taking any of her advice.
Today I'm going to be doing a product review of some of my favorite baby products. This is not sponsored. I did buy these products myself, and I just want to review them and tell you guys how I like them and what to not spend your money on. Okay, so the first product I want to talk about is this. So this is a Baby Bliss pillow. So it's a feeding pillow. This is great for babies that have constant spit up or reflux. And so it is at a 15-degree angle. So babies tend to have, especially newborns, tend to have reflux or some form of spit up. And so usually when they're laying on their backs, the muscle in their esophagus is pretty weak at that age. And so they're not able to close that esophagus muscle so the milk comes back up. So this at least helps elevate them at an angle where it is safe and there's less spit up likely. I bought this and I use it all the time. I bought two actually. So one for my house in Cutoff and one for her nursery here at Ken's. And so this has just been like really good to have, and it is adjustable. So it can grow or can be adjusted with the child's age. Right? You have these little things on the back and you can adjust it to the height that you need it to be. It's great. Love this. Worth the money. Now we're going to talk about what this is. So this is the Owlet camera and smart sock. So the camera is supposed to pair with your phone, as is the smart sock. The smart sock I would say is an absolute must. I love, oh no, you're talking to me. You're talking to mommy. The Owlet sock is great. The camera, however, I had such a hard time pairing it with my phone that I don't even use this. And instead, I bought a VTech camera. Works so much better, and it has the monitor. So this is pretty pricey for the sock and camera duo. This was like $400, and I only use the sock. So I felt like I really kind of wasted a lot of money on this with high expectations. Okay, so next is the Baby Brezza bottle sanitizer. This was a gift from our baby shower, and though it is nice, it's not exactly necessary. It doesn't wash the bottles for you. It does sanitize them, and it uses steam to do so. So it's nice, but not exactly necessary. So for stroller, we have an Argo Baby Deluxe Metro, and I did get a sunshade to go over it because personally, I want to keep my baby's privacy as much as possible. So whenever we're going out in public, I really just don't want to risk people taking pictures of her. And so I bought this for privacy's sake, but it also is great as a sun protection. These are great to have. She wasn't very interested in it whenever we first brought her home to do tummy time. We used to put her here to do tummy time, and she really just wasn't interested in it at about 1 month old. But now that she's 3 months, she is starting to really like it. It has lights and sounds. Let's see. That seems to get her attention and makes her really. So for tummy time, we use this. This is a great pillow to have for tummy time. You lay them down in the middle and then prop them up on their elbows so they can build that head strength, their back and neck strength. Great. Okay, and lastly we have the Baby Brezza bottle maker. This is the Advanced Pro bottle maker. It is supposed to be Wi-Fi compatible, so you're able to make bottles from your phone. However, the app does not work. I've tried so many times to make the app work and it just doesn't. So it's great for those 3 to 5 minutes that it takes to make a bottle. It's out a bottle like that. So we use this and we keep it by the nightstand, by the bed. For those night feedings, it's great. Produces a bottle in seconds. It's really, really great at night. There are settings on it where you can go on the website and find out if you're using a certain type of formula. It will tell you what setting to put it on for that specific formula. This is an airtight container, so the formula does not get exposed to moisture. Yeah, so I really recommend this. You do need to clean it once a week because if you don't clean it, it will be like clogged up and probably break. So be sure to clean it. But this is great, so would recommend.
Oh, the other thing that she was complaining about is how to get your baby to have a bedtime. Girl, you asked for this. You asked for this, and now you're, oh, the struggles of parenthood. You're literally 3 months in. Jesus, take the wheel. You are in for it if you think 3 months is enough for you to put your head on your hand. And you don't even work. You don't even work. So what are you doing all day? You have Christy and Ken at your beck and call, doing whatever it is that you need done. You still have time to jump on social media and make stupid videos. And you're complaining about a bedtime? Please kick rocks.
Sometimes parenthood is trying to start a routine, and 2 hours later, still awake.
Let's move over to the Resilient Jenkins. Steph posted a video. Now, I haven't watched this, so I'm going to watch it with y'all, and then I'm also going to share the video that she put out. I believe it was yesterday. But let's start with this one. Let's see what kind of victim mentality and BS she has for us today.
So Drew just got done at the U-Haul place, well, the storage unit. He emptied out the U-Haul, took our oldest kid with him. Now he's gonna come back, and then so he can go take the U-Haul back.
When we get home.
Look at him now.
That storage unit looks like a freaking disaster zone. They don't have anything organized. And obviously she, they went with the smallest storage unit, so they don't have to pay a lot for it. But, wow.
This is my hair when I brush it out. There's another thing to hate on me. I have one ear bigger than the other. Go ahead and make fun of that. Like, I'm just going to tell you everything that's ugly about me because then I said it before you did.
You know what I think is ugly about you, Steph? I think that your lack of wanting to do better for your children is ugly. I think the fact that you defend your bum boyfriend, Drew, is ugly. I think that your lack of willing to accept help from your mother and then wanting to drag her across the internet and make yourself out to be a victim instead of putting your children's needs first when you could have your kids in a safe, permanent home without Drew, but you chose this instead. I think that's ugly. I just think that your lack of motivation is ugly. I don't need to talk about your personal appearance because you have so many things on the inside that are hideous.
Handsome boy. Bubbasaurus. Big boy, what are you doing?
How do they have so much stuff on the floor? Maybe something spilled. I don't know.
Oh. I'll show you.
Yeah, I threw you off. I'm gonna keep trying that with you because it's worked 3 times so far.
I love you, Mama.
I love you more.
Let's see. Where did you go, little midnight?
Hold on, watch this. Oh, hold on, watch this.
Face is starting to get all red. It's starting to make. I think it's great.
So what I want to know is what's going to happen when this motel shelter finds out that y'all are actually making bank on TikTok. What's going to happen then? Because this establishment is meant for literally people who do not have an income, need safe shelter, really are actually down on their luck. Y'all are cheating the system yet again. Y'all are making money. You are dealing with this bum who is literally being held in contempt of court on April 7th. So there are just so many ways that these two have manipulated the system to work in their own favor so that they don't have to use their own money. She did this with TikTok when she first went viral. It was, oh, well, I'll put out a video and people online will buy out the Amazon wish list and get us stuff. So we don't have to use the money that we're making to buy our children the bare necessities. And they still didn't even replace the kids' mattresses in the 1-bedroom apartment. It's the constant taking advantage of the system. It's sitting here making money on TikTok and taking up a room in a shelter when y'all are making money. You just don't want to use it. You want to act as if you're just, it's everyone else's fault. Poor me, poor us. The only poor anything in the situation are the cats and the children. Here at the end, she had to stand up for her man again. And she says, FYI, I've been using Drew's PS5 to watch Reba since we started living in a motel. Drew really don't mess with video games unless everyone else has something to do and is taken care of. Ma'am, he was literally playing video games as y'all were hours away from your eviction. You were sitting there trying to pack up the kitchen and Drew is in the background yelling at his friends on his PS5. Don't try to rewrite history because we've seen exactly to what capacity Drew utilizes his PS5. And if he really doesn't mess with it and it's not that much, then why don't you sell it for some extra cash? Because I don't know, I've said in other videos that entertainment would be at the bottom of the list when I'm living in a homeless shelter. I'm making money. I'm going to get my ass out of there, utilize the funds that I'm making on TikTok, and do better for my children. There's also this other video that she posted as the 11 days since we said goodbye to what we knew as home and became homeless. Steph, the pity party went away a long time ago.
She's my little beautician.
I love doing her hair, and I'm doing one of my favorite hairstyles that she used to do all the time. I'm done.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Good job, baby girl. High five.
I love this.
I love it too. Thanks for showing me.
Get a little bit of water in there.
gonna be like every day.
Got it. People are calling you out with reason. Nails by Arlita is about to have her day in court, and you might want to get used to Drew not being around because he could absolutely end up in jail. I don't know for how long, I don't know if it'll happen, but that is a real possibility. He is being held in contempt of court because he lied to the child support caseworker and said that he was not working.
Back in February, I got the phone call of from our caseworker that's on my child support case. Back in February, it was the beginning of February, I got the call, and the call was just of holding him in contempt, which a few of you guys said that in my comments, like, oh, I hope it's like him being held accountable, blah blah blah. Mind you, there's just some things that I couldn't speak on because a lot of you here on this internet are doing a little bit too much, and like even still in my comments, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? When I responded to most people, like, you know, I can't talk about it right now, but when I can, I will, right? But I still get people like, what are you talking about? Or I want to know. When I legitimately said, like, when I could talk about it, but that, you know, it goes over some people's heads. And yeah, so when certain things come into play, you have to move differently, right? I move like that. I move differently. I gave hints. I was in comments. I was stating some things, right? Because I knew what was coming. I absolutely knew what was coming out of this back in February. So the phone call was basically, she called me and she was like, I just want to know if you are okay with holding Andrew in contempt of his order, because y'all, back in October, when he went to that court date that I posted about back in October, he told our caseworker that he was working. He told her that he was working. And so when he wasn't paying nothing, that's when she called me and asked, can we hold him in contempt? And I told her, absolutely. Do what you have to do, because I never received consistent child support payments. I've had, like I told you guys back in October, I had 2 pretty big payments that came from the state, right? Which means they were taken out of his taxes whenever he filed back in 15 and 17. So those are like the 2 big things that I got back from him. Other than that, when child support was in play, I never really got consistent payments. And that's when I told you guys that one time where I specifically remember that I received 5 cents in my account, because I vividly remember that. And so anyways, so he's being held in contempt of our child support order, which finally now I can say, because since all this stuff about the eviction and them being in hotels and y'all doing weird stuff like doxing them and doing that, I don't condone the doxing. I don't, because there's kids involved. But it helped me out a little bit in the long run because I was able to have him served. And I got the confirmation from the sheriff that he was served. Yeah. And his court date for next month is April 7th. And it comes with a pretty hefty thing. Like, this is my copy. Like, it's pretty thick. My copy, right? So I got this copy first. He got served, I want to say a couple of days ago, because I had texted the sheriff and asked if he had made contact, and he said yes. And I want to say that was Monday, because today's Wednesday. So, yeah. My baby is probably going to get what he deserves. Like I said, and it's crazy to me because people are saying like, oh, Arlita, you shouldn't even be speaking on this. You shouldn't even have nothing to say. You have your kid. I find that weird. I find that weird that people are trying to tell me that I shouldn't have said nothing, that I don't really have anything to say because I have my kid. But what the fuck do you mean? I don't have nothing to say. He literally has been dodging responsibility. And the crazy thing about it is, y'all, I waited a whole year. A whole year. That's how fucking nice I am. And I'm tired of playing nice. But I waited a whole year after my child was born to put him on child support. A whole year. All I asked him to do was pay me $100. No lie. If I could find the note that I had him sign about just paying me $100 and I could take care of the rest, and all he had to worry about was providing diapers and wipes at the time that my son was born, before I even put him on child support, that's all he had to worry about, $100. And I was taking care of everything else. And not only that, he had visitation. I let him go over there. And the crazy thing about it is, I'm not going to get too deep because I found out a whole lot of things after all this transpired. If I feel comfortable talking about it, I will, but right now I'm not. But I just know that God was covering my baby when he was with him. And I thank God for that every day. So for people like, oh, Arlita, you shouldn't speak on this, or you have nothing really to say. You have your kid. You can kiss my ass. 12 years. He hasn't seen his son since he was 5. Because I invited him. And the fact That's why they look stressed in that last video that she posted. She looked stressed because I know she know. Because what are you going to say? What can you say? Now you're being held in contempt. And you're going to have to pay something. And if not, we all know what happens with that. Right? So for anybody else that feel like I shouldn't have to say nothing, please explain to me why I shouldn't have said nothing. Please explain to me why I shouldn't have came out and said what I said. Because like I told her in the last videos, if you would not have said anything, this probably wouldn't have happened to y'all. And I probably wouldn't even have got this stuff moved so fast. Do you get what I'm saying? But the fact that you put it out there and the fact that I knew of where your guys' whereabouts is the only thing that helps speed this up. In all reality. I'm pretty sure I was going to get a phone call sometime soon, you know. But in reality, since this blew up and since I was sending stuff to my caseworker and showing her, like, this is what's going on, it got things moving. And I'm always going to speak up for my kid because he deserved it. If he didn't want to be a father, you're going to help financially. I've done everything. I pay for everything. Me and my husband pay for everything. I sign him up for sports. He does a lot. My kid does not just sit around the house. He plays basketball. He plays baseball. Like, we have seasons. This mom, I'm a sports mom. Like, we really be going. Like, I asked him for the bare minimum. He couldn't even do that. But now he has to chuck up again. And you best believe I will be calling in to that court date just to see what's going to happen. The last time I didn't call in. But what she told me that he did state that he was working. He just refused to pay. So whose fault is that?
Karma's right around the corner. We're going to keep watching it, but that's what's going on for now. And as a side note, just to end on a positive one, Milo is continuing on his road to recovery. His fur is looking better and better each and every day. And the bond that he and Shaylin have is just, it really mends your heart to think of where he was just, a little over a week ago versus where he is now. It really does something to mend how heartbreaking it was when that news first broke. So either way, that's what's going on. We'll continue to keep an eye out. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.